Welcome back to another video on the channel. Aryna Sabalenka wins the 2021 Abu Dhabi Open final after defeating Veronika Kudermetova in straight sets. So Sabalenka finished off 2020 with 2 WTA titles and wins the opening title of 2021. A player just in quite stunning form. 3 consecutive titles, 15 match winning streak, and yeah, just unbelievable from Aryna Sabalenka again in Abu Dhabi. I said going into the match that, Veronika Kudermetova had to serve fantastically well. She was playing very well coming into this match, beating players like Marta Kostyuk and Elina Svitolina, but beating those sort of players and then beating Sabalenka is two completely different things. We know the level that Sabalenka's played consistently well for the past 3 or 4 months, and it was a case of could Kudermetova played her level consistently and out-hit Sabalenka from the back of the court, and the answer was no. As expected, I did think Sabalenka would win this final pretty comfortably. For Kudermetova to stand any chance in this match, I said she had to serve consistently well. She served well in the opening rounds of this tournament, didn't serve so well yesterday, but she done well in those opening 4 games. Sabalenka came out, was rock solid from the off, started quick as she always does, fully confident in her game, believing she could win yet another title. But Kudermetova matched her. I think she had to match that fire and the power from the back of the court of Sabalenka. Looked to get the first serve in, looked to go big on the opening shot of the rally, get Sabalenka on the back foot, try and hit a few clean winners just to get that confidence and send out a message to Sabalenka. And I think she'd done that early on, but it was always a matter of time, and I always felt, how long can Kudermetova keep up this level? Sabalenka's level doesn't drop at the moment. She just seems to go from strength to strength, and there's no margin for error there. And it was Sabalenka who took control and ended up taking the first set 6-2. And with Kudermetova, although the scoreboard will look like, she didn't play well, I don't think there was a lot more she could do, particularly in that opening set. As I say, she started the match very well. She wasn't poor in that opening set. She didn't look nervous. She didn't miss the first serve. She was 2-2 at the end of them 4 games. But if Kudermetova missed the first serve, Sabalenka just smashed her winning return, or at least got on the front foot. If Kudermetova dropped short by just a fine margin, then Sabalenka would jump all over it and hit a forehand backhand winner down the line. And Sabalenka's just not missing at the moment. The relentless ball striking and the consistency of Sabalenka's play at the moment is quite frightening for all players out there, I believe. And yeah, I don't think Kudermetova, she got forced into errors. She was forced onto the back foot by Sabalenka and forced to try and hit winners from difficult positions because that's all she could do. Sabalenka wasn't letting the points go to 8, 9, 10 shots. Sabalenka's a player that dominates the short points, and she made those by being aggressive from the first ball. And Kudermetova had very little answers. As soon as the serve dropped, or as I say, she dropped short by a fine margin, then Sabalenka just jumped all over that. And Kudermetova fought hard in the second set. I think she broke Sabalenka a couple of times, but didn't hold serve at all in the second set. I mean, the way Sabalenka's returned at the moment makes it incredibly difficult. If you feel like every first serve has to either be an ace or at least push Sabalenka very wide or off balance. To do that consistently is very tough, particularly in a final. And it ended up being a comfortable win, 6-2, 6-2. So just looking ahead to Aryna Sabalenka, we've seen in the past we've been in this position with Sabalenka where she's looked very good at these sort of events and it hasn't really turned up at Grand Slams. She hasn't been past the 3rd round stage in a Grand Slam since 2018, I think, which is hard to believe. Very disappointing, her Grand Slam results in 2019 and 2020 when you look at the level of form that she can produce. I think in the past from Sabalenka we've seen her game be too one-dimensional, and she's been took apart by better opponents in Grand Slams. I think her fitness levels have not been up to full standard as well in previous Grand Slams, and also defensive movement hasn't been good enough. She's always been a front foot player, but when she comes up against another power pack player who can fight fire with fire and push her on the back foot, she's always struggled. But just analysing those 3 points, that's what I've been most impressed about with Sabalenka over the past 3 or 4 months. I think, when she reaches in semi-finals and finals, she still looks very fresh. She doesn't look to be fatigued. Her feet don't slow down. She's got that mental strength now that she knows how well she's playing. She's confident of winning titles. She's won the last 5 finals, which is, fantastic going into a Grand Slam event. The defensive movement is very, very good. If she does get put in the back foot, she's capable of getting good, consistent depth now and neutralising the rallies, trying to stick in the rallies and wait for an opportunity to open up on her attacking side. And just the consistency as well, we've seen with Sabalenka in the past few years that she's had lows in matches where she's given 3 or 4 games away, given sets away, and that's probably contributed to the fatigue factor. Playing matches that have gone on long distances that shouldn't really be in the opening rounds, but Sabalenka's got to be one of the dangers at this Australian Open. I don't think she'll go in the tournament as one of the favourites. As I say, she has got that poor Grand Slam record, whereas you've got players like Simona Halep and Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka, Bianca Andreescu will be at the Australian Open, who have been there and done it and won these 7-round events. But with the way Sabalenka's playing, if she can turn up and play to the level that she has been in these WTA events, then she's surely got to make, the quarter-final, semi-final, and with that mental stability and confidence in a game at the moment, then it's very difficult to look past her reaching that sort of stage. But yeah, Kudermetova, as I said, I think she battled very hard today. She was just up against a formidable opponent, and I don't think there's anybody in the world that would have beaten Sabalenka at the moment in this tournament this week. The court suited her perfectly, a fast hard court, and she just produced time after time, serving fantastically, returning brilliantly well. Forehand, backhand, drop shot, movement, everything from Sabalenka at the moment is just on point, 10 out of 10, and it'll take a special performance or a real drop-in performance from Sabalenka for somebody to beat her. So I think the overall level in Abu Dhabi's been very impressive. I think we saw some very nice tennis from even Sofia Kenin at times, Marta Kostyuk, Elena Rybakina I was very impressed with. Veronika Kudermetova got great wins, but overall, if you look back in the results and the performances, Sabalenka's dominated this event from start to finish. She had a tough draw facing players like Maria Sakkari, but just seemed to blow past everybody with that brilliant level of tennis that she brought on a consistent basis. So I've thoroughly enjoyed covering the WTA Abu Dhabi Open. First title of the season goes to Aryna Sabalenka. Next stop for both of these players will be the Australian Open, which I will be covering on the channel. So thanks a lot to anybody who's watched the video this week. Please do subscribe. I will be covering the men's and women's Australian Open. My previews for those events will be coming out very soon. And also do follow me on Twitter where I'll be covering the Australian Open as well. I will leave a link to that in the description below. But leave your comments in the comment section below of how you found this event, what you thought about the performance of Sabalenka and how you think she can do at the Australian Open. And I will see you on the next video.